YouTube? Welcome back to Dwayne's World. First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for their awesome support since the launch of my YouTube channel. It's only been a little over a month since I started Dwayne's World, but I gotta be honest, it feels like it's been a lot longer. And I think that's just because of the amount of work and effort I put into creating this channel and hopefully be able to push out content that you guys would want to see. You know, I've even had comments from people I know, people I don't know, where they would say things like, well, God, I can't believe how much content you're pushing out there. Great job, keep it up, you know, keep pushing content out there. And that's the kind of feedback that I like that keeps me motivated to want to continue to do Dwayne's World. You know, with that being said, I've kind of thought about where my channel is going and how it's evolving. And I know it's going to continue to evolve, you know, time and time again. I think when people have even asked me, you know, about my channel and they ask about the mowers I used on my channel, you know, they say things like, well, Dwayne, why don't you get a Greensmaster? Why don't you buy a John Deere? And not that those mowers aren't phenomenal mowers and that I wouldn't enjoy mowing with it. I'm sure I would love to have one of those mowers and maybe one day I will. And the reason why I don't, not that I couldn't, if I really wanted to, like I'm sure I could find one, but at the same time, that's not really what I'm about. And the reason why I'm not about that, and you think about it, you can watch other YouTubers that have those phenomenal mowers, and there's nothing against any one of those mowers or any of those YouTubers, they do a phenomenal job. However, what I always can relate to is my neighbor. Where I always can relate to is a buddy of mine. And not everybody is going to have a Greensmaster 1600, you know, in their garage, or a John Deere 220, or some of these other high-end, you know, type mowers. And I think because it's less relatable to people sometimes, it's not really what I want my channel to stand for. Because I believe you can get a phenomenal result, you know, with mowers like the California Trimmer, mowers like the McLean, you know, the Eagle products that I also feature on my channel. So there's a lot of great residential products where, if done right, can give you a professional result. And I really want my channel to stand for that. And I think that's why, you know, I'm kind of talking to you guys about what my channel is about, because I want to make sure you guys understand what my vision is for my channel. You know, I hope I could appeal to most people, or I hope people may watch my content just because it's entertaining, versus it just strictly being about the mowers, because I don't think a channel should just stand for the mowers themselves. Although they're very cool things I like to watch, things other people like to watch, and there's nothing wrong with those things. And I just wanted to throw that out there because I think in any good YouTubers like videos, you should understand the purpose of that YouTuber. And I hope by kind of watching here and watching my content that you understand what Dwayne's World is all about. And with that, let's get to today's video. I think it's been about 3 days since my last mow. Definitely time. You know, even though it's cooling down slightly, and when I say cooling down slightly, I mean into the lower 90s, upper 80s is pretty much where we've been for the last few days here. The Bermuda is definitely still growing. So it definitely needs a mow and definitely needs a haircut. Have not applied any more fertilizer at all. Again, I'm staying away from any nitrogen feedings for the rest of the year. And we're just gonna let the Bermuda do what it does best here. We'll just continue to let it grow. And then as it cools down, it will go dormant. So again, today's video, I want to feature the handlebar extension kit and my first mow with that kit. So let's get on to it. All right, so here she is. This is my brand new 20-inch 7-blade California trimmer. I kid, it's not brand new to me. However, what is brand new and what we're really excited about is the extension kit that I put on there. So today's video, we are going to be mowing with this bad boy. Very excited about its new height. So we're going to be seeing this mower in action today, and we're going to see how well that handlebar kit works on the California trimmer. One thing I also just wanted to mention really quickly, just because it has more to do with my mower than everybody's mower, so I didn't include it in my last video with the handlebar extension kit, is that I have relocated my hours meter. And the reason why I relocated my hours meter, I used to have it sitting up top here by the handlebars, is because of the fact that with the handlebar extension kit, I've already cut this wire to length. Now I can get another wire, and I have another wire, but at the same time I figured let me change it up. So I went ahead and mounted it down here, which I think is kind of a cool look. Pretty cool, I like it. of the things I just wanted to quickly show you guys that I wasn't necessarily even thinking about when putting together this handlebar extension kit is really now where the drop wheel extension lever, it kind of comes up to you. So it's not, again, only about the bars that are going to be higher, but this drop lever now being in taller position works out so much better. I don't know why I didn't necessarily even think about that, but it makes it so much easier now when I am turning around from, you know, going from one pass to the other. I really like that this is now in a higher position. I think it just feels much more natural and easier to get to. All right, so let's get back to the mow. All right, so first of all, let me just apologize. I know the audio isn't like what it normally sounds like, and that's just because I have an issue with my mic this morning, so it's just not working for me. But at the same time, I want to be able to put out this content. It's really driving me crazy. So there's my rant for today. And if you hear that dog in the background, I think he's just as upset about it as I am. So unreal. And with that being said, let's see what kind of stripe action we got going on today. Oh yeah, that is looking pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. At least the visual portion of my YouTube video is better than the audio today, so nothing wrong with that. But let me flip it around here just so you guys can see a little bit better look. All right, so there she is. Really liking that color. You know, you may see little chunks or specks of green things on my lawn. That's grass. Just because there was so much dew on the lawn this morning, it really kind of clumped up. But again, I mowed in this direction right here. Last time I went in this direction with the California trimmer. Today we went in this direction here. No double cut today. And as you can see here, the California trimmer is pretty dirty from the amount of grass that had come off the lawn here. But even though the stripe action is important, it's always important. The point of today's video was all about that beauty. One thing I wasn't necessarily expecting, when you watch my fungicide video, I added a soil loosener or soil liquid dethatcher to that mix. And I think what that did is that really kind of gave my lawn a boost in vertical growth. And I think ultimately that's why my lawn had as many clippings as it had today, just because of the fact that, you know, it probably had some excessive growth there. Again, it's not because of a huge temperature shift. I didn't throw down any fertilizer. It's the only thing differently that I've done to my lawn in the last few days. All right, so what I wanted to do was kind of show my lawn now from actually a different time of day. Now it's a little bit later in the day now, so the sun has now moved to the opposite side, so my stripe action is actually now in the opposite direction. I don't think I've ever shown my lawn from this side of it, so I figured, you know what, let me do that, just because people may have that question of what the lawn looks like from this side. Now I'll be honest with you, and this wasn't deliberate, meaning because of the fact that the stripe action looks better on the opposite side in the morning, I generally will film from that side. However, I'm not going to beat around the bush and not tell you my lawn has problems. So I want to kind of show you guys right now where some of the problem areas are in my lawn. So bear with me here. One thing I just wanted to throw out there, you know, a lot of times you see my stripe action. It looks great, don't get me wrong. But Dwayne's World Lawn is not perfect. I got problem areas just like everybody else has problem areas, or the large majority of people do. But I'm not here to hide them. As much as some people think I do, I don't. This is all of it in its glory. So definitely, you know, the front part of the lawn here, I would say for whatever reason is struggling. It's probably been like this for the last few weeks. You know, if it was a fungicide issue or an insect issue, the latest treatment I did, I know is going to help cure that. So I'm not too worried about it. These areas may not fully grow back in by the rest of the end of the season. We'll see here. You know, we still got a couple more weeks. But at the same time, I just want to point that out because, you know, I think a lot of times people just feature what looks best on their lawn. And I don't want to be that type of YouTuber. I want to be real with you guys on the issues that I have on my lawn, because together as a community, we are going to fix these problems. Whether it's in my lawn or your lawn, we're going to attack these things, right? So, you know, I don't think this is an irrigation issue because it does get plenty of water, but because of that, maybe it gets too much water, and that's what's causing fungus. So I have to kind of play around with it. We'll see what happens. But again, at the same time, I just wanted to be real with everybody on what exactly the state of my lawn looks like. You know, the IT department over here at Dwayne's World finally got my mic fixed. So thank God we'll be able to move forward with the rest of this video. I did not want to have to do the rest of the video without a mic. So definitely excited about the fact that we have it back in place here. So going back to the California trimmer and kind of my thoughts on the extension handle. Absolutely, I would say you should buy it. If you're on the fence about it, if you're debating it, go ahead and buy it. You know, for the price that they offer, and I can't even believe it is the price what it is, you know, you cannot beat that value. Comes with a new chain, obviously, comes with the cables, comes with the brackets, everything you're going to need in order to assemble it. Now, with the video I put together yesterday, I don't think anyone should be too scared about this project or really worried about it. And I think that's a lot of times, at least for me as a DIY guy, if I'm going to go buy something, a lot of times I actually like to look up online how easy it is to assemble or take apart or any of the issues, right? And that may influence my buying decision on whether or not I choose to buy something or not. So at least with this video on there, I hope that will make it easier for you guys. Anybody who's on the fence, again, reach out to Scott at Triangle Reel Mowers. He will absolutely take care of you. So when it comes to the handlebar extension kit, you know, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out that I really liked about it and why I would say that it's the right choice for most California trimmer owners. And that's right, most California trimmer owners. Scott had mentioned to me that he believes a lot of people 6 foot and up is really going to benefit from this kit, and they absolutely will. In my opinion, it's a little bit different, but it is shared, where I think there's going to be the mass majority of people would probably rather have that handlebar height regardless of how tall you are. So again, I'm about 5'11", and I love it. I think it's the perfect height for me, just because it brings the handlebars up to a much more comfortable position. So that kind of leads me to my 2 things that I would say is best about this handlebar extension kit. All right, so the first thing, and it may seem like common sense, but I really like the new position of the drop lever. Now, when I go to grab for it, it just seems like it's much more natural of a position of where it should be on the mower. Not to say I'd ever complained about it before with the old setup. However, now just kind of looking at the two and kind of like, you know, using both versions, the second version, meaning with the extension kit, is so much more natural. And I love that, right? So that's the first thing I really love about this extension kit. The second thing is actually the maneuverability. And the maneuverability on this particular mower now with those handlebars being raised is much better. And let me explain why. So because the mower now has longer bars, it feels like, even though it's not, it feels like the mower is lighter. Meaning when I push back on it to lift it, to transport it like from the shed to the lawn or the backyard to the front yard, it's much lighter because I think there's more leverage because the handlebars are taller. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so the second thing I wanted to kind of point out was the fact that the maneuverability now when actually using the mower feels much better. And the reason why I think it feels better is for the same reason reason I mentioned why the mower now feels lighter, because of those longer handlebars. So that also then translates to whenever you're turning the mower. So for example, when I'm doing my passes, at the end of my pass and I do that U-turn, it's so much easier now. And I think it's just because of the fact that the weight distribution is now different with those handlebars now being longer. The other thing I would say though, just because of that more natural position, if I did have a curvier lawn, which I don't, I could imagine it would be easier just because now my hands feel like they're in a much more natural position. So these are two of the points that I would say is the reasons why I would recommend this handlebar extension kit to anybody that owns a California trimmer or is maybe looking to buy one in the future. Of course, it makes a lot of sense if you're really tall, but if you're not tall, I kind of wanted to take that part of the equation out of it and why somebody may still want to consider purchasing an extension kit. And I think for those reasons why I pointed out, it's well worth the money. And with that, I appreciate you guys watching today. And as always, be excellent and party on.